ang hirap ng buhay na pinagdaanan ko, ayaw kong madaanan ng bawat pamilyang Pilipino. Kaya I hope na ang ating bansa umunlad, magkaisa tayo, ipagdasal natin ang ating mga leader dahil walang imposible sa Panginoon pag tayo ay nagdarasal. Nung ako ay naupong senador, hindi ko po talaga kinompromise yung posisyon ko kasi yung commitment ko sa taong bayan, manatiling commitment ko sa kanila habang ako'y pinagkakatiwalaan at nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno.
Masakit lang isipin, Mr. President, na ang programa na para sa mga mahihirap, tapos may mga tao na kumokontra. Kasi pagka maganda yung ginagawa para sa mga mahihirap, dahil kalaban ka, kukontrahin ka. Nakakabuti naman sa taong bayan. Pagkakalaban ka, ganun. Kaya walang progreso, walang kaunlaran ang bansa natin dahil after ng administration ng isang leader, pag mapalitan siya, hindi pagpatuloy yung programa niya na maganda para sa taong bayan. Pagkatapos naman ng isa, yung magandang programa niya, mahinto na naman, ibang programa na naman. Bakit hindi natin suportahan? Kahit na ba, ang isang politiko, ang puso para talaga sa taong bayan o tumulong, kung maganda yung programa, dapat suportahan na lang. Ang problema, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda. Lahat ba yung mga programa ng mga nakaraang leaders ay hindi maganda? Pagdating sa mga mahihirap, nasasaktan ako pagka binabati ko yung mga programa para sa kanila. Diyan ako galing sa pagiging mahirap. Yung walang makain sa isang araw. Naranasan ko yun. Kaya ako, anumang darating ko, anumang pera, anong halaga ang nakamtan ko sa buhay, hindi mahalaga para sa akin yan. Ang importante, makatulong ako sa taong bayan, makatulong ako sa kapwa ko. We came to this world naked, and we will depart alone and naked. Wala tayong madalala. Iiwanan natin lahat yan. Ipaglalaban ko ang karapatan ng mga mahirap na tao.
Atin itong bansa, gusto ko po na tayong lahat nagtutulungan para umunlad ang ating bansa, para umasinso ang bawat Pilipino. Mga kababayan ko, mga nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno, magkaisa tayo, isipin natin na ang mga kababayan natin nagugutom, nahihirapan. Yung iba, walang sariling tahanan, natutulog sa kalye lamang. Tayo, lahat ay pari-parihong tao, may puso na nararamdaman. Naway, bawat isa sa atin, lahat tayo, accountable tayo pagharap natin sa Panginoon. Lagi kong sinasabi, kahit ano pa kayaman mo, kahit ikaw pa pinakasikat sa buong mundo, pag namatay tayo, wala tayong madadala kahit piso. Ang Manny Pacquiao, walang karapatan magibang kahit kanino. Dahil galing po ako sa hirap. Therefore, ang aking gagawin, tutulungan yung mga kasama kong naiiwan doon sa laylayan. Tutulungan sila. Ang dasal ko palagi sa kanila na umasinso din sila sa buhay at makaahon din, guminhawa sa buhay. Kaya tayong lahat, mga kababayan ko, sama-sama tayo, magkaisa tayo para sa pag-unlad ng ating bansa, tayong lahat magtutulungan.
Palma. Oh, man. That's unfair, and Palma 7 points in the game. To Del Fuentes. Oh, wow. Delgado makes the shot and knocks it down. Malonga is open. 3-point. Oh, my goodness.
Face a jumper by Robin Celis.
Nathanielo has time.
Now it's Martin Rosso. Turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness.
Patuloy po ang mga laban dito sa Olivares College Gymnasium in Parañaque City. It's time now for the second game of our Thursday triple header, and it will feature the Muntinlupa Cagers, who rebounded from their very first loss of the season, and they seek to remain one of the top squads in the South Division, and they will meet the Manila Batang Quiapo, who have fallen down to their 7th straight loss after winning their first game of the season. Magandang gabi mga kaliga, this is Ken Pangalinan alongside Coach Mike Perez. Coach Mike, alam mo hindi ako magugulat kung may hingal tayo today because of how fast these two teams are playing right now.
Yeah, interesting guard rotations actually for both those teams. You have Achi and John Fa on one end, para dito sa Manila on the other end. Of course, you have Poroy Katimbuan and the other guards that could really spell a lot of pace to this game.
And live po tayo ngayon on our official Facebook page and YouTube channel and also on Solar Sports, and also our third game will be live on that channel. Of course, we have Miss Sydney Crespo at courtside ngayon. Talakayin na natin, Coach Mike, itong Muntinlupa Cagers, and they won their first 4 games. Natalo sila for the very first time against Bataan on their home floor, but they were able to bounce back nicely against Val City.
Yeah, and yung 12-point output nila in the first quarter, medyo slow pero ang laki ng recovery nila come the fourth quarter. They got on an 8-point run to which they enjoyed the biggest lead at 11. But really, ang ganda ng field goal shooting, 10 missed free throws, pero yung rebounds, kita mo yan, plus 16 on offensive rebounds. And what's even impressive is they only encountered 6 turnovers in that game, which is pretty good. And yung second chance points, a plus 16, all the advantage of the Muntinlupa Cagers.
And considering how fast they play, that's really impressive. Just committing 6 turnovers. But Puroy Kantibuhan had 5 turnovers and was scoreless in that loss, pero bumawi siya, no? Laban sa Val City, and here just poured it on sa pagsisimula pa lang ng larong ito.
Yeah, Puroy Kantibuhan going 6 of 7 from the perimeter, had 4 assists as well, and yung 17 points niya, and he loves to drive and draw defenses right there, and 8 fouls ang na-draw niya because of his just impeccable finish inside the paint. And whenever you see him inside, you gotta check on him because the high probability he's gonna score.
17 points, 10 of those coming in the first half para kay Puroy Kantibuhan. Ngayon, pag-usapan natin itong Manila Batang Quiapo, and it's been a while since they had their win. That's their opening game. Naipanalo nila yun, but since then, it's been 7 straight losses, including this blowout loss against the Quezon Huskers.
Oh, that was such a blowout that they even fell behind by as much as 44 points. Achi led the team with 17. Faha and Deco had 14 apiece. John Baltasar 11 margins advantage right there, and really just dominated by the Huskers in that match.
And he was able to step up. You mentioned Achi Inigo, one of the veterans for this young squad. And he came in averaging only around 7 points. But here, breaking out 17 points, and we all know the capability of this former FTU guard.
Yeah, and when you talk about capability, you talk about outside shooting as well. See there, 5 of 10 3-point makes to go with 7 rebounds and 4 assists. Matter of fact, in that game, really nag-focus na lang siya sa scoring kasi doon yung hinahanap ng team. But if you ask him to lead by ball distribution, he very able to do that.
Alright, it's Muntinlupa kontra Manila in our second game. Let's go to Richard Campos.
Good evening and welcome to the second game here at Olivares Coliseum, Paranaque City. It's Muntinlupa versus Manila in the Season 7 of Manny Pacquiao's MPBL. Join me in welcoming for the starting lineups. First, the Muntinlupa Cagers, Lacan. At forward number 31, March De Leon. Also at forward number 25, Mark Barrera. Playing center number 12, J-Boy Gob. Point guard number 3, Patrick Ramos. Also at guard number 8, the Iceman, Domark Matiliano. The head coach is Gino Ludovice. His assistants are Mark Dandan, Don Bautista, Chico Terona, John Cabulong, Alvin Tanyada, and Delono Ontilano. Team manager Vince Harder. Team owners Kaiser Galvez, attorney Jem C, and Aya Saicon. Now starting for Manila Batang Quiapo. At forward number 73, John Baltazar. Playing center number 23, Decoy Lopez. Point guard number 13, John Faa. The other guard number 4, Jose Canlas. Small forward number 3, the Hawkeye, Achi Inigo. Manila Batang Quiapo is led by Max De Andante. His assistants are Clint Gusarin, RJ Jonero, and Miller Gillian. Coaching consultant Bang Tumapa, the team manager Ivan Villaflor.
Starting 5 brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Sa panig ng Muntinlupa, at the guard spots, Patrick Ramos, Domark Patiliano. At center, J-Boy Gob. At the forward spots, Mark Barrera and March De Leon. For Manila, the backcourt of John Fa and Jose Canlas. Up front, Decoy Lopez, Jan Baltasar, and Achi Inigo. Our referees for this ball game, of course, we have ito si Sev Pingol as the crew chief. And let's see here, yung battle natin between two of the fastest teams that we have. In fact, Manila Batang Quiapo, despite their woeful record so far, is number 1 in the league in terms of fast break points at 21.5.
And really just credit to the kind of pace that they've been playing. Kaya nga sabi mo kanina, napakaganda nitong laro no. Sigurado bakbakan up and down ito, the floor.
Patrick Ramos making his third start, second consecutive. He started in their last game against Val City, now finds Domart Patiliano for that three-pointer to open up the scoring para dito sa Muntinlupa.
And that's one other guy scoring-wise that can, score from the outside dito sa Muntinlupa Cagers, and no surprises with how Domar can actually shoot the lights out. But one guy that I'm really impressed when it comes to the Muntinlupa Cagers is see another 3 attempt right there and a putback by J-Boy Cobb. Ramos, he's been pretty solid para dito sa Muntinlupa Cagers.
By the way, you saw some of the guys from Jams Footwear. Maraming salamat po
yeah.
sa andog ninyong sapatos. Excited ka ang suotin, Coach Mike.
Parang gusto ko tuloy pumunta sa shop ng Jams na ng mga tindahan ng sapatos eh. We'll see where that goes.
Or shout out to Coach Alvin Tanyada, also making it happen. One of the coaches for Muntinlupa. And also, he was a game announcer in the WMPBL. As we see here, that move. Quick 7 points for Muntinlupa to start off this match.
Well, pretty much, the way Manila always starts. Slow, and then they start getting into their groove. But this time around, they gotta be quick into getting into a real good compete stance against the Cagers.
Baltasar, shut down by the defense. Tanlas, sablay yung kanyang tres. Rebound, Patrick Ramos. This is a good matchup. Patrick Ramos and John Fa.
I think one key difference between those two players, no doubt about it, parehong mabilis yung mga yan. But if you talk about control through all that pace, I feel that's advantage Patrick Ramos.
Muntinlupa, the lob of Patiliano going to Barrera. By the way, ito si Mark Barrera. After averaging around 14 points per contest in their first 4 games, last 2 games niya, only averaging 0.5 points. He had 1 point in their loss against Bataan. He was scoreless against Val City. But you love the confidence of the coaching staff of Muntinlupa, giving him another start despite his struggles.
Oh, wow.
Ringless.
Yeah. J-Boy Cobb. I mean, you don't always see that, but you love to see that if you're a Cager.
3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
Normally on a slot-to-slot, high-low yan eh. Pero J-Boy Cobb says, wag na tayo mag-high-low, kaya ko na to dito.
Coach Mike, 10 nating start for Muntinlupa. We'll pause for break. We'll be back after this.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad, para sa 100%'ong pagbabago, para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod, para sa 100% Pinas.
50 tayo! 50 si ME! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Special deal from 1xBet. Scan a QR code and claim your special offer. And a hot start for the Muntinlupa Cagers. Manila still scoreless here, with more than 2 minutes gone by in the first period. John Fa putting the moves on. The switch by Marge De Leon. John Fa puts the ball on the floor. Kicks it back out to Decoy Lopez.
There you go.
A former JRU heavy bomber knocks down a 3.
There you go. You got enough shooters on the outside. Pero definitely si Achi markado na. Kanina pa siya binabantayan dun sa corner na yun. Nobody's leaving him open at all. At least for the possessions that they've had.
March De Leon. Sundutan sa likod. This is where Manila could really thrive in transition.
Yeah.
They turn the ball over. Matiliano, forward pass. Barrera. This is gonna be good for him. Scoring his first field goal in 2 games.
And that's one thing, I guess, a facet of the game of John Fa that he has to learn. Staying in control. You've been gifted with that pace, but it's the control and the balance, especially as you go through traffic. You can't just burst through everyone, especially with that defense setup.
Achi. Puts it on the deck.
Ganda.
Lopez ulit. Pop out. Yung tapik mapupunta kay Jose Canlas. Pupukol sa 3. Mintis yan. Another offensive rebound by Manila. Manila Batang Quiapo, not really a good rebounding team, which is why, despite the fact that they really run the floor, number 1 in fast break points, they're one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. So yung mga defensive rebounds, usually hindi nila nasa-secure yan eh. And that's really what triggers their fast break.
I think if you look at their roster, I don't see any rim protection at all. I mean, you love a big Decoy Lopez, but he's pretty much a pick and pop guy.
Fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X Pop, personal karaoke speaker, everyday karaoke.
Yeah, and speaking of Decoy Lopez, you know, you get certain minutes of good big man action from him, pero eventually, yung malalaki ng kalaban, it will wear him down.
9-point lead for the Cagers. Patrick Ramos. We've got 3 former heavy bombers that played under Coach Louis Gonzalez starting here for Muntinlupa. March De Leon, who follows up his own miss. Patrick Ramos and Mark Barrera.
Right.
14-3. 11-point lead for Muntinlupa. Fa tries to turn the corner. Nilabas muna papunta kay Eusebio. Decoy Lopez attempts again. Top of the key free is automatic.
And again, yung drop coverage na yan to which J. Boykov is... Actually, when you do a drop coverage, you're encouraging shots from the outside. And so kung doon nakatuon sa'yo yung drop coverage nila, hindi ko yung offensive player, you have to make your shots. And so that mas mataas ngayon yung magiging pag-cover na sa'yo, which gives you a chance to blow by that defense and score. And another shot attempt here for Manila that's gone empty.
Great pass. Sidestep beauty from Mark Barrera.
There really is a difference with playing with a lot of pace, and control.
Decoy feeling it, but this time a miss, asking for a foul.
At saka, that pretty much is the only shot that's available for Manila. And you step in with a 3, and that's it. You know, no dribble penetrations to go inside and score. So we got another 3 attempt here for the Cagers. And you gotta exploit opportunities like this when the defense is not set up. Achi misses though.
Andaya corrals the miss against J-Boy Gom. Goes right at him. Pinilit. Gets it back. In traffic.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go for Andaya.
Much as you love yung perimeter moves of Algin Andaya, when you have size advantage in there, it's tough to be scoring against those bigs.
Foul called against Manila. March De Leon will head back to the line.
March De Leon, to me, in my opinion, has been a big contributor here for the Cagers.
LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL.
And with this run of wins for Muntinlupa, one can say, you know, it's still pretty early in the season, but just credit to the way Coach Gino has actually run this team. And even the way that Boss Kaiser and the rest of the management of the Cagers have really made sure that these guys continue with being focused with the goal, especially as you play for Muntinlupa. Alam na natin ang Muntinlupa, that's a basketball crazy city.
Yun naman. And They're one of the OG teams here in the MPBL. Made the finals in season 1. And they had guys like Dave Moralde in there. Alan Mangahas at one point. Actually, he was part of that team that went into the finals, if I'm not mistaken. No? Algin Andaya at the line. Free throw does not work. Ball ends up with Manila again. Richard Albo puts up a three. It's good.
That pretty much has been the shot that's available and makeable para dito sa Manila. They've attempted 8 times in the perimeter. They couldn't sink any. They've attempted 8 times in the outside from 3 and they made 3 of them. And so, you're better off taking 3s and yun nang kasi ang pinapayagan ng Muntinlupa eh.
And Manila able to catch up. This lead down to 6. This is Richard Albo nailing his first 3. We all know how a dead shot he is from that range.
You know, here come the other troops of the Cagers. Flores. You've got who else? Bongay in there.
Oh, si EJ Bongay.
And Kurt Lohera. Heavy hitters as well para dito sa Muntinlupa Cagers.
2 minutes and 48 seconds remaining here. Richard Albo.
Good pass.
Bounce pass. In traffic though. Medyo tight yung pasa para dito kay Andaya. Kurt Lohera. Sinukat pa yung depensa. Able to get the basket plus a foul.
They tried to steal off the outlet pass. Defense gambled. Kurt was able to get it. Bongay with that lead pass. Kurt got it. Faced up. So defender coming in from his left, from his right, and finished it off. And you know that defense is going to be late when you've got the offensive player's shoulder on the chest of the defender. Pretty much how that setup has been on that attack by Kurt Lohera.
Francis Abarcar getting some early minutes para dito sa Muntinlupa Cagers. Out comes Patrick Ramos.
Pag-uusapan mo ang OG, isa sa mga OG, si Utoy Abarcar.
Oo naman.
Muntinlupa. And well, you know, the family really comes from Batangas, pero you know, he's made a good reputation in Muntinlupa, being one of the top high school players back in his prime.
Oh yeah, played for Sambeda. Si Utoy Abarcar. Meanwhile, Mark Barrera gets blocked from behind by Ambrosio. But ball will stay with Muntinlupa. 11-point lead. Almost. But the foul will be whistled against Manila.
And this is what really the MPBL has given, you know, guys like Utoy Abarcar, you know, opportunities to go back to what they love.
Yeah.
When he was out of basketball for quite some time, he spent a lot of time, you know, exploring different businesses. During the pandemic, his brother came up with a fried chicken wing, which is really good. I just forgot the name. We ordered a lot of that during the pandemic, and then nung nag-release na yung pandemic, he went into yung mga hail rides like Grab. You know, he's been into that as well, apart from some basketball action as well. And he's just kept himself busy all throughout.
So wala ning fried chicken business?
Wala na. I was talking to him and telling him dapat ibalik niya. His brother's name is Tom. I said, kaya Tom, kailangan ibalik niya. Dahil isa kami sa mga parokyano niyo. Dahil that was really good.
Alam mo ko, siyang hilig ko pa naman sa fried chicken. Hindi ko man na-experience yun.
Ay, nako. kung natikman mo yun, sigurado, papadeliver ka.
Richard Albo, pasok yung kanyang free throw dito. 22-11, Muntinlupa with an 11-point lead. Marvin Hayes comes in.
And what's even more alarming if you're Manila, aside from this 11-point deficit, you're only shooting 16% from the field. And, you know, you can't do that. You haven't made anything on the perimeter. All the shots that you've made have either been from the 3 or the free throw line. And that's pretty much been it.
So, ball will stay with Muntinlupa here. A minute and 24 remaining. in quarter number 1. So Muntinlupa holding Manila to only 11 points. They've done a solid job on the defensive end. Bongay, Bert Lohera, nabangga doon pero walang pito. Flores to EJ Bongay. And ball did not hit the rim. Shot clock violation against Muntinlupa.
Very rarely do you see shot clock violation when it's in the hands of Marvin Hayes. He didn't see clock.
Oh.
Actually, he thought they had more time.
Of course, Boss Paulo Ramos.
Ang mga masisipag nating sock mid.
Siyempre naman, hindi matatawaran yan. Sablay yung tira ni Richard Albo sa labas.
They've attempted 11 times on threes, and they've stopped shooting from the perimeter after they made 8 attempts early and came up empty. That's how much scoring challenge has been from the perimeter para dito sa Manila.
Bert Lohera able to sink in that jump shot. 24-11 is our tally.
Oh no.
Bert Lohera off to the races. Lohera lays it up and in. "14 seconds to go. Layup does not work. That was a quick shot. They could have opted to take the final shot. Instead, yun ang pwedeng gawin naman ngayon ng Muntinlupa.
Clock management too.
Marvin Hayes peeks at the clock. Still a lot of time.
I say he
Pulls
takes
up.
it.
Oh!
Yeah, I told you.
Kuya Marv!
You know he was gonna take it. Marvin Hayes has got a good touch from the outside. In the last game, he was 2 out of 6 and 33% to go with those 9 rebounds. And why not?
Grabe talaga, Marvin Hayes. And you see the highlights here. And what has been a Muntinlupa quarter, Coach Mike?
Yeah, 11 made field goals, 9 of them from the perimeter, a couple from threes, 2 points coming from free throws, and just playing the passing lanes, getting points off turnovers. In that department, it was 7-0. No points gotten off turnovers by Manila, and it's just been a tough first quarter.
29-11, Muntinlupa with the lead after the first quarter.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod, si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MV! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Welcome back to the MPBL. Alam niyo, favorite ni Manila head coach Max Dayandante yung mga big games versus top teams. As the long-time collegiate head coach of some of the Manila players, sabi niya dito daw nakikita ang kanyang mga alaga. And in that last game versus Quezon, he likes what he saw from all of them, especially the big contributors, John Fa and Achi Inigo. Sadyang kulang lang rin daw sila sa pyesa, lalo na sa mga big men. In fact, kwento ni Coach Max na marami na ang nakatingin dito sa ating 20-year-old MPBL rookie John Fa, habang gusto niya ang conversions ni Achi from the three-point line. Paalala ni Coach Max, ngayong araw wala sa atin ang pressure and you have the freedom to show off your real talents today. Ken and Coach Mike?
Maraming salamat, Sid. And they're pretty much a capable offensive team. And this guy, ito si John Fa, he came into the league as a 19-year-old. He just turned 20. As we see here, Richard Albo, sinugod yung depensa. And some people have taken notice of how well he's been playing. Ito si John Fa. And this guy was the finals MVP and a Mythical 5 member in the National Universities and College Athletic Association. He was playing for Philippine College of Criminology. Na alam ko din under Coach Max, as this free throw of the game brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
And itong si John Fa is one of the 3 players that has really come in with high hopes and high promises for their respective careers. John Fa being one of them, the second one being CJ Delfino, and the third one, of course, that surprise showing of Air Boom Tampos.
Oh.
You know, and then those three. I feel the MPBL right now, and we've had talks about this internally, na talagang nagkakaroon na ng changing of the guards, you know, new blood coming in, and new stars that's getting introduced, and you know, these guys that we mentioned just might be the next wave of stars alongside David Defonso, you know, that would bring the MPBL to its next level.
Here's John Fa putting on the Jets but can't finish. 5 on the floor for Muntinlupa, Jera Flores, Puroy Kantimbuhan, Kurt Lohera, Marvin Hayes, and EJ Bongay.
And I would love for another breakout game for this man right here, Jera Flores. I felt he struggled a little bit in that last game. So the hope is for him to get back into the groove. Yes, you know, alam mo kung ano kayang gawin sa ni Jera Flores eh.
Oo naman, he had that big shot to force overtime against Bataan just last week and establishes new MPBL career high of 25 points. But here, he will commit an offensive foul after trying to clear out space.
He's a big man that can play the post and even make shots on the outside.
May kakapit eh.
Well, that Gortat screen for a possible layup lane, you know, available for Puroy, pero natawagan.
17-point lead for the Muntinlupa Cagers. John Fa with Richard Albo, Decoy Lopez, Flores, and Achi Inigo. John Fa puts the ball on the deck. Achi contorting himself in mid-air and scores off the glass.
There's very few people that can score through traffic from a guard position in this team of Manila. And I feel that's one guy. You know, Achi really is just like his brother. You got a good head on their shoulders when it comes to basketball. Good motor as well.
Si Lloyd Cabegui nasa loob din ha. Para yun sa Muntinlupa. Puroy giving up that duty foul.
And later we're gonna have some talks about St. Lloyd later on.
Near the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Basta din eh, depensa eh, no?
Yeah. Referees reviewing if that last foul merits the criteria for an unsportsmanlike foul. It's gonna be a normal foul against Puroy Kantimbuhan. And Puroy was once in John Fa's shoes as being, you know, before he emerged as one of the top guards in the league. Di din siya kilala nung una eh. But he was able to find a niche with Muntinlupa in his first season and bounce around, played for Bacolod, even played for Manila. I think last season. And here, returning for Muntinlupa alongside Domart Matiliano. As you see the crossover, pull up.
There you go.
Thing of beauty by John Fa.
There you go. And Domart Mataliano got lulled into the dribble action by John Fa. That separation that he really needs to be able to pull up from that area is pretty much his range.
Gorgeous looking stroke from John Fa. And 5 straight points galing sa Manila Batang Quiapo. They draw to within 13, 29-16.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Oh, busy si Jojo Bellas, ha? Hindi mo kaya kausap niya ngayon?
Tinitingnan niya yung schedule ng mga next 2 game days kasi Pangasinan bukas tapos Isabela.
Ah,
Oo.
sanay na yan, coach.
Oo, sa bagay.
Jojo.
Nice
Wala
fake.
sa kanya yan. Ito walang-wala din. Yung depensa doon. And that reverse by Lloyd Cabegin.
And Lloyd Cabegin pretty much inside the paint. Doon mo maasahan yan si Lloyd. A homegrown guy from Muntinlupa.
Natapik. Rafael Flores lost the basketball.
Napakaraming deflections nangyari dun sa huling action na yun. He'll take this.
Marvin Hayes against Richard Albo. Inside they go. Domark Matiliano. Foul on the floor. 6 minutes and 21 seconds remaining here in the second period.
You see, you just love if we can get that shot of Marvin Hayes and the coach Gino. Yeah. He just made the play earlier na went out of bounds. Pero si Marvin Hayes immediately runs to Coach Gino for some instructions. I mean, that's a veteran player right there who still listens to his coach. And talagang makikita mo kung ano nga yung tinuturo niya. So si Domark hit another 3 right there. Kung ano talaga yung ano niya, yung ini-espouse niya sa mga followers niya on social media. That's what Marvin Hayes does. It brings a lot of credibility to Marvin.
6 minutes remaining. Hachi Inigo's floater will not drop. Tatakbo dito Muntinlupa. Bukoy Kantimbuhan. Pulls it back out. Tightly guarded here. Puroy.
Empty ball screen.
This time, the pick set by Flores. Cabegin facing up. Now posting up. Richard Albo. Shot clock winding down. Matiliano. Long free. That one bounces out.
Understanding who Lloyd is, I know he's got that shot already at that moment when he posted up.
3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances. The Iceman, Domark Matiliano, with another free. 34-16. Richard
fake.
Albo spins, flips
Good
it up,
block.
gets it back. No foul call. Muntinlupa on the run. Matiliano with a finger roll.
Talk about playing it both ends of the floor. The Cagers just showed us. That was a fake shot. Albo had that drive. Lloyd Cabegin blocks it. And they run the other way. And Domark just really finishes it off that pass by Marvin Hayes.
Past the halfway point of quarter number 2. Kantimbuhan. Guarded by Dandoy. Inaangat niya si Lloyd Cabegin. He attacks. Puroy. Ball will stay with Muntinlupa. Fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X Play on the go speaker. Take your music anywhere.
Ganda ng pagkakabit-bit.
Oh. Stretch na stretch eh.
Oo.
Ito libreng-libre naman. And that's just what Mark Barrera needs. That slight opening to hit that free.
Sometimes you need some time alone from that area in order to see that ball fall through the net.
And it's now 39-16 for the Muntinlupa Cagers as they extend this lead to 23 points with 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. We'll return after this short break.
Para sa atletang Pilipino.
Para sa kabataang Pilipino.
Para sa kababaihan, para sa pamilyang Pilipino.
Para sa kinabukasan.
At ito po ang MPBL Party List number 77 sa balota.
Among the leaders in three-point percentage, the top two are both from Muntinlupa. Jera Flores, 62.5%, while Domark Matiliano at 50%. And both efficient marksmen from the outside.
Kaya hindi ka magugulat sa kakayanan nitong Cagers na makatira sa labas eh. You've got those guys that really good percentage. Good
Bandoy
pull-up.
gets it back after the miss. Ball will stay with Manila. Only 16 points to show.
Yan yung sinasabi ko na may pagkakataong maaasahan mo maglaro ng big man itong si Decoy. Pero, you know, not the entire game.
Look at those field goal shooting numbers for Manila, particularly only 15%. Samantala, 53% naman itong Muntinlupa. We have a challenge by the Muntinlupa Cagers on that last out-of-bounds play on the baseline. Coach Gino Ludovice.
Tsaka nakakadalawang on that 2 of something attempts. We'll talk about that later.
The challenge made by Muntinlupa is successful.
Successful si Coach Gino sa kanyang pag-challenge doon, Coach Mike. Ano, palagay ko, nabulungan ni Coach Mark eh.
Hindi, tingin ko maganda yung pagkaka-review ni Coach Dons eh. Hawak
ni
yung
Coach
tablet
Don,
eh. O,
oo
tama si
nga.
Coach Dons, oh, talagang... Pero ang ganda rin ng tingdig ni Coach Mark.
Siyempre,
Ayan,
lagi
no?
naman yan.
Ayan na si Coach
Ayan,
Mark.
no?
Ayan, no?
Coach Mark Dandan. Of course, he was previously an assistant coach for his late father, Coach Ricky, back
Yeah.
with Bataan in Season 5.
That was a huge loss in Philippine basketball. You know, Coach Ricky has always been, you know, somebody guys look up to in coaching here in the country.
Marvin Hayes with his second free. Manila leading 4 points right now.
At saka yung dalawang field goals nila on the perimeter. One was that drive by Achi, which was challenged, which is a difficult shot. Second one was that perimeter elbow jumper by John Fa. Everything else has been empty.
Kung titignan mo yung Muntinlupa, ang ganda ng pagka-scout nila eh. As you see, J-Boy Gob get the putback plus a foul.
And Muntinlupa is so quick going down defensively that Manila has not gotten a single fast break point yet.
J-Boy Gob started this game and providing the goods. Kung titignan mo, Coach, no? Yung rebounding numbers, hindi naman nagkakalayo. Muntinlupa plus 7. But they have 8 offensive rebounds. Actually, 9 offensive rebounds. And that really stymied yung transition game nitong Manila because they're unable to corral those defensive boards. And to add on to their woes, they're completely missing from the field.
Yeah. And tsaka yung I guess si Coach Maxi and that report by Sydney already alluded to it, na the absence of a big man. Defensively, you're gonna need a rim protection inside. And you see how heavy the bigs of Muntinlupa have been. J-Boy Gob, Marvin Hayes, Ra Flores. Huwag na natin pag-usapan yung guardia. Yun na lang inside presence. Si J-Boy Gob with a floater inside. Offensive rebound by Marvin Hayes. Yun yung mga situation na kailangan mo ng rim protection.
Gixer, great move of the game. Born for greatness. This was his one-on-one move by Andaya, able to spin away from J-Boy Gob.
And kanina nga, napag-usapan na rin natin yan. Kung perimeter makes rin lang, Algin Andaya is one of those guys that you can count on. But he really has got to exert effort because of the rim protection of the Cagers.
So yun nga, tres talaga yung last basket ni Marvin Hayes. So it's 45-18. Coach Mark Dandan. Ilang beses ko na rin naging partner sa panel. Always a pleasure to work with Coach Mark Dandan. One of my favorites. I mean, to be perfectly honest. Si J-Boy Gob.
And he knows his basketball too. I mean, when Coach Mark shared those notes of Coach Ricky in his social media, parang photo pinakita niya.
Yeah.
Oh my, sabi ko, would have been really good to see those notes as well. I mean, coming from Coach Ricky, I'm sure there's a lot of treasures you can pick out of there from a basketball standpoint.
How about Mark Barrera? Heating up, now has 12 points.
He continues to shoot well from that side of the floor on three.
Achi tries to turn the corner, pulls up. Off the heel, rebound J-Boy Gob. 1:35 remaining here, and Muntinlupa on pace to break the century mark. Mark Barrera thought about it, gives it up to Puroy Kantimpuhan, who joins the three-point scoring parade. Muntinlupa now with 7 3-pointers.
And you score from three, you score on the perimeter. Free throws lang talaga ang challenge dito sa Cagers where they're only shooting 37%, making 3 of the 8 attempts.
A minute remaining here. This lead has ballooned to 35 points. Muntinlupa continues to pour it on. Kantimbuhan. Agancielo. J-Boy Gob hit one earlier. Bola babalik sa panig ng Manila. See here is 3-point shot by Marvin Hayes, ruled initially a 2. It's now a 3. That shot is up and in for Jan Baltasar. 30 seconds remaining. Marvin Hayes, pinaposisyon niya muna si Buroy. Mark Barrera, nasundutan, recovers, pulls up, gets pushed as Eusebio tried to challenge that shot. Mark Barrera will shoot to the line for 2 free throws. Former JRU heavy bomber Mark Barrera from Tanhay City, Negros Oriental. So Ilonggo din, no? And was the leading scorer for the Heavy Bombers last season under Coach Louie. Sablay yung kanyang pangalawang free throw. Marvin Hayes, himself a former Heavy Bomber.
This is LSQ time. Last shot of the quarter.
Ayun. Puroy, entry pass. J-Boy Gob could not finish. And that's gonna do it here in the first half. And the Muntinlupa Cagers pouring it on and just obliterating Manila in the first 20 minutes of game action. And they lead by 34 at the half. It's 54-20 para dito sa Muntinlupa Cagers. And leading the way is Mark Barrera.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Welcome back to the MPBL. My name is Sydney Crespo. Happy Labor Day po sa lahat ng ating mga kaliga na nagpapahinga at nanonood ngayon ng ating game number 2 between the Manila Batang Quiapo and the Muntinlupa Cagers. Kasama ko ngayong halftime ay sina Muntinlupa team owner Sir Kaiser Galvez and of course one of their team sponsors representing Jam Shoes. We have John Vincent Siacort. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here. Unahin ko na si Sir Kaiser na, Sir, balik sa winning column ang iyong team mula sa last game and you are also ahead now at the half. What do you like about this momentum right now?
Well, after tough loss against Bataan, nag-regroup kami. After nun, hindi kami nagpahinga lang kami ng isang araw. After nun, resume na kami sa practice. And then, pinag-usapan namin kung ano mga nangyari. So, ang naging lesson namin nun is we're not going to underestimate all the teams, especially lahat ng sumali dito sa MPBL. Nire-remind ko sila na hindi sasali ang mga yan kung hindi magagaling yan. So, lahat ng teams, kailangan i-treat equally and lahat sila is threat sa mga every game.
Very well said, Sir Kaiser. Now, do you have anyone you want to say thanks to?
Well, first of all, gusto kong pasalamatan ng City of Muntinlupa sa pag-support sa amin headed by Mayor Beazon. No? Sa lahat ng mga sponsors namin, ang Lacan, headed by Governor Padilla, ang Preya Moto District, ang Elberg Ship Manning Philippines, ang Agustea Ship Manning Philippines, ang Paramount Logistic, GEMC Foundation, ang Deuces Coffee, ang Hope Spirit, ang Tela Athletics, which is our outfitter, no? Pinapasalamatan ko lahat sila. Ano si Jam, yung nagbibigay sa amin ng magandang sapatos. Binabati ko ang mga kapatid ko, si Mayor Zeminasi ng Marilo, Bulacan at si Attorney, si Kapitan Aya Saicon. Kamusta kayo? Binabati ko rin ang family ko sa Las Vegas, ang mami at daddy ko, Mami Ed and Daddy Ed and Mami Alice, ang in-laws ko, Mami Prosi and Papa Nicolo Tirey. Binabati ko ang good friend ko, no, si Mike Limpe ng happy birthday. Ang mga teammates ko dyan sa Pinoy Liga, sa VBL, kamusta kayo dyan? Tito Rex Firewire, headed by Don Borsena and si Joel Yuga. Ito wife ko, nanonood ngayon na sumusuporta. Mary Grace Labrusca. Salamat.
Sir Kaiser, thank you so much for your time as always. Ngayon naman kausapin na natin si Sir John, again representing Muntinlupa team sponsor Jam Shoes. Sir John, good evening. No? Of course, we are very happy na sinusuportahan nyo ang liga. But now I'm curious, ano bang gusto nyo sa MPBL? Bakit ang laki ng suporta ninyo?
Lalo-lalo na dito sa Muntinlupa Cages, sobrang ganda lalo na pag first time namin dito, Jam Shoes. And ang saya din panoorin na nag-sponsor kami sa malaking team dito sa MPBL. And nagagala kami na nandito kami ngayon.
Well, thank you also for your generosity. No? Ngayon, Sir John, sino gusto mong batiin o pasalamatan?
Unang-una po, nagpapasalamat po kami kay Boss Alvin, Boss Kaiser, and Boss Vic po sa pag-imbita dito sa MPBL. And first time din po namin. And binabati ko rin po yung sa Jam Shoes Las Piñas po, sa Jam Shoes team and MPBL po. Maraming salamat po sa pag-imbita po.
Alright, thank you so much once again, Sir Jam. Sir John of Jam Shoes, I hope you enjoy the rest of the game. Ngayon mga kaliga, magbabalik po ang MPBL.
Ang hirap ng buhay na pinagdaanan ko, ayaw kong madaanan ng bawat pamilyang Pilipino. Kaya I hope na ang ating bansa umunlad, magkaisa tayo, ipagdasal natin ang ating mga leader dahil walang imposible sa Panginoon pag tayo ay nagdarasal. Nung ako ay naupong senador, hindi ko po talaga kinompromise yung posisyon ko kasi yung commitment ko sa taong bayan, manatiling commitment ko sa kanila habang ako'y pinagkakatiwalaan at nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno.
Masakit lang isipin, Mr. President, na ang programa na para sa mga mahihirap, tapos may mga tao na kumokontra. Kasi pagka maganda yung ginagawa para sa mga mahihirap, dahil kalaban ka, kukontrahin ka. Nakakabuti naman sa taong bayan. Pagkakalaban ka, ganun. Kaya walang progreso, walang kaunlaran ang bansa natin dahil after ng administrasyon ng isang leader, pag mapalitan siya, hindi pagpatuloy yung programa niya na maganda para sa taong bayan. Pagkatapos naman ng isa, yung magandang programa niya, mahinto na naman, ibang programa na naman. Bakit hindi natin suportahan? Kahit na ba, ang isang politiko, ang puso para talaga sa taong bayan o tumulong, kung maganda yung programa, dapat suportahan na lang. Ang problema, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda. Lahat ba yung mga programa ng mga nakaraang leaders ay hindi maganda? Pagdating sa mga mahihirap, nasasaktan ako pagka binabatikos yung mga programa para sa kanila. Diyan ako galing sa pagiging mahirap, yung walang makain sa isang araw. Naranasan ko yun. Kaya ako, anumang narating ko, anumang pera, anong halaga ang nakamtan ko sa buhay, hindi mahalaga para sa akin yan. Ang importante, makatulong ako sa taong bayan, makatulong ako sa kapwa ko. We came to this world naked, and we will depart alone and naked. Wala tayong madalala. Iiwanan natin lahat yan. Ipaglalaban ko ang karapatan ng mga mahirap na tao.
Atin itong bansa, gusto ko po na tayong lahat nagtutulungan para umunlad ang ating bansa, para umasinso ang bawat Pilipino. Mga kababayan ko, mga nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno, pagkaisa tayo, isipin natin na ang mga kababayan natin nagugutom, nahihirapan. Yung iba, walang sariling tahanan, natutulog sa kalye lamang. Tayo, lahat ay pari-parihong tao, may puso na nararamdaman. Naway, bawat isa sa atin, lahat tayo, accountable tayo pagharap natin sa Panginoon. Lagi kong sinasabi, kahit ano pa.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, para sa 100% pagbabago, para sa 100% paglilingkod, para sa 100% Pinas.
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Our halftime score, 54 for the Muntinlupa Cagers and 20 for the Manila Batang Quiapo. And we'll see the numbers here. A 34-point lead para dito sa Muntinlupa at the end of the first 20 minutes of game action, Coach Mike.
Well, the challenge of really making shots, that's been the problem for Manila. Shooting only 17%, there is no way you're gonna win a game if you're only shooting that much. And Muntinlupa controlling the boards, controlling the assists, the three basic fundamentals of the game, scoring, rebounding, and assisting. And when you look at the help that they're getting off the bench, you know, that's a plus 11 altogether in favor for the Cagers. And there's so much work for Manila here coming in the second half.
And also not in that graphic is the fast break points, because we mentioned Manila is the top fast break team in the league. They only had 2 in the first half. And Muntinlupa with Mark Barrera leading the team in scoring with 13 points. J-Boy Gob as a starter for today had 10 points. 8 points naman for Domark Batiliano and Kurt Nohera off the bench with 7. Decoy Lopez ang nagtimon para dito sa Manila with 6 points. Richard Albo with 5. Algin Andaya 3 points. Machi Inigo with 2 points. And by the way, happy 7th birthday to Aki. And shout out to his lovely wife and the Garcia family. And of course, with Muntinlupa here trying to go for back-to-back wins. They won their first 4 games. Nada pa against Bataan. They were able to bounce back against Val City. And si Patrick Ramos talaga binibigyan nila ng kumpiyansa. No? This is the second straight start para dito sa Muntinlupa.
And you're not surprised because they're gonna need a young blood like Patrick Ramos to be, you know, coming off the bench eventually, lalo na on the big games.
Achi Inigo. And you check the shoes of Achi Inigo. And of course, shoutout po sa ating mga manggagawang Pilipino. Hindi ko malaman saan ako titingin.
Oh, doon na kay Jordan. Na kay Jordan pala.
Yun pala.
Wala kay Jordan. Lalito rin ako eh.
Third quarter underway. Richard Albo gets the steal. Lob inside. Ambrosio kick out. Achi Inigo short. Ambrosio try to fight for it. It will stay with Manila.
Ganda rin ang sapatos ni Achi.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Titignan nyo yung sapatos niya. It's the design by his son. Ayan, Sabrina 2.
Oh, wow.
It's his son that designed his shoes. And really inspired ito si Achi, although his team really down big here. Pero ito, mas maganda pinapakita na at least in the first couple of sequences. Playing with a lot of energy. Albo, that was an open three but just couldn't hit. Ramos.
And samantala, you talked about Ramos getting minutes and opportunities, not just for this game, but even in the previous games. And gusto mo talaga yan eh. Somebody to come out and help in the scoring production and leadership with Puroy Cantimbuhan. There were games actually where, as you see, a three-pointer made by Patrick Ramos, that Patrick played more minutes than John Puroy Cantimbuhan. And you know, that just shows you na pretty much a well-balanced approach on how you manage the minutes of your top two guards in Puroy and itong si Patrick.
Decoy flips it up and in. Of course, shout out to his lovely wife, Jax Lopez, and si baby Freya.
Oo. Mga inspirasyon niya para dito kay Decoy as they play this game today. And all important, gotta recover here in the second half.
Kurt Nohera puts up a free off the heel. Manila on the run. Richard Albo, natapikan, recovers. And tried to power his way inside. Foul will be called. Richard Albo will trip to the line as we see Jerry Flores come in para dito sa Muntinlupa to replace J-Boy Gob. This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Richard Albo was born in Obando, Bulacan, then moved to Navotas with his mother when he was 2 years old and ended up working as a helper at the Navotas Fishport when he was in grade 3. Then hanggang nag-aaral siya nung high school, doon siya nagtatahi ng lambat ng big ships and in the fishing company. Then he tried out for Coach Toto Dohilio for the Ocampo Memorial College but did not pass on his first try. Then he tried out again as we see ito si Ambrosio knocked down a jumper. So si Richard Albo tried out again hanggang sa nakuha siya and played 1 year when he was already 23 years old. But then nakapasok siya sa MPBL and his hometown team in Navotas. And then his stint there really opened the eyes of some of the other teams. He was able to crack the roster of Coach Don Dulay for Davao Occidental and eventually winning a championship back in Season 3.
And such inspiring stories like that for Richard Albo. I mean, and sometimes it's the necessities of life that bring you to where you are right now.
Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Tsaka yan yung mga kwentong katulad kay Richard Albo na, really just persistence and trying to chase for something you're very passionate about. And people draw inspiration from you. And that's, I guess, what Richard has been to some players. I mean, doors not always gonna get shut on you. Sometimes there's just another window that's open for you to pursue.
Richard Albo already 39 years old but still going strong. One of the leading scorers para dito sa Manila Batang Quiapo.
Yeah, and right now he's got 7 points to his name. He's just been that guy that they look for scoring here for Manila.
Almost 3 minutes gone by here in the third quarter. Manila, in their last 7 losses, they gave up 100.6 times.
Yeah.
So yun yung nagiging problema nila. They could put in the points, but they also gave up a ton of points to the opponent. And we have a timeout here with 7 minutes and 1 second remaining. We'll pause for a break.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 50 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 50 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, 50 si Manny. Kanipaya. Para sa 100% Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Mixer fan of the game, born for greatness. Some of the fans in attendance dito po sa loob ng Olivares College Gymnasium. By the way, shout out to the RTMM basketball family. POV, and
yeah.
Patty Pascual, BJ and AM Hinch. And is this Guy or Gay? Gay and Aris Musni. We're watching right now.
Yeah, mga parents yan ng kasama namin dun sa RTMM basketball family, to which Riley, my youngest, actually plays for that team, a training pool of young players na kanina nagkaroon ng tune-up game. That's where I came from before I head into this coverage.
Patrick Ramos scores.
Finally,
agad naman pinawi.
Oo, binawi agad ni John Fadon.
61-30 is our score. Bukoy Kantimbuhan, nagtitimon para dito sa Muntinlupa. Now he's asking for that side pick and roll with Marge De Leon. He lobs it up. Marge powers up, scores underneath for Muntinlupa. This is Ambrosio. No, that was John Fa. My mistake. Doesn't hit the jumper. Puroy, the drop inside. Flores kick out. Lohera takes the free and makes it. Kurt Lohera with 10. One and done by Manila. Flores gets to the paint. Kick out, reversal of roles. It's Puroy catching that pass, but can't hit.
Back and forth we go here.
Tres ni Albo, wala. Rebound, Kantimbuhan.
And they're gonna slow this down for the Cagers.
Now Ramos, he's the one directing traffic. You have 3 guards who can all play in point guard para dito sa Muntinlupa right now. Puroy, Patrick Ramos, and Kurt Lohera. Marge De Leon got the step, lays it up and in.
And that defense was pretty much late on that one dribble penetration by Marge. Went into that fake, saw that lane, drove in and made it.
Richard Albo, those huge strides. That was 9 points.
And you have to admire how the veterans of the Cagers have actually deferred to Patrick Ramos to direct them in their half-court sets. I mean, that just goes to show the kind of support that they're giving the young blood.
Patuloy yung pagpuntos dito ng Muntinlupa. John Fa draws a foul. Get to the line. Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more games with 1xBet. John Fa at the line. First free throw is good. John Fa came into this game averaging 13.5 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 5.9 assists in 30 minutes, but only 60% at the line, although he hit 2 of them. Against Quezon at 14 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, almost a triple-double, 62.5% shooting from the field. It's now 70-34. Marvin Hayes nasa loob na para dito sa Muntinlupa. Guarded by Richard Albo. Puroy, the right side, making his move. Puts it on the floor. Mart Barrera, the follow-up is good, plus a foul. So now this lead has ballooned to 38.
And they continue to just break down this defense interior of Manila. The absence of rim protection has really kind of hurt them.
Meanwhile, maibalita tayo kay Miss Sydney Crespo.
Alam nyo, ini-enjoy lang ni Marvin Hayes sa mga laro with Muntinlupa because he has special appreciation para sa minuto na binibigay sa kanya. Sabi nga niya, marami sa amin tulad ko hindi naman nabigyan ng maraming minuto noon. After their first loss this season, kwento ni Marvin na inayos nila yung attitude and focus ng buong team dahil sa matalo daw talaga masusubok yung commitment nila sa kanilang goal this season. As he emphasized, hindi naman pabilisan ito. Now for Muntinlupa coaches, Assistant Coach Don Bautista pointed out that they like the resiliency of Muntinlupa in the past few games, and tonight obviously they are not taking this game lightly. Ken, Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Sid. And you know, with Kuya Marv, he's looking already at the bigger picture here as one of the veterans. That's the value he brings. You put things into perspective. Now, this is a long season. Make no mistake about it. They had a good start. They had a tough loss. Pero minsan kailangan mo ng Kuya Marv that would tell you how to go around with things like that. And you see here, EJ Bongay score underneath with a reverse.
And when you talk about the building blocks of this Muntinlupa Cagers, considering their really good record right now, I do agree with you. Marvin, as well as the coaching staff, had a lot to do with it, and just the confidence of being together. As we see Achi let go of those arrows again from outside. Talaga napakalaking bagay na nagagawa nitong mga liderato na ito, coaches and experienced players like Marvin for the team of the Cagers.
That was a great move off the bounce by Mark Barrera. 76-39. 3 by Decoy, no. Rebound, Kuroy Kantimbuhan. Mark Barrera, swoops down the lane. Bongay, nothing there. Tapika, napunta kay Bongay ulit. And he draws a foul.
Hindi mo makikita talaga yung the missing piece on rim protection para dito sa Manila, Batang Quiapo. They're trying their best to try and stop the Cagers, but it's tough against the bigger and the stronger big men.
Shout out to the De Belen family, Captain Mike De Belen and
Mbeng
De Belen. Also the GFRTMM basketball.
Yeah.
Baseline inbound para dito sa Muntinlupa. Under 3 minutes remaining. Bongay bouncing it to Domark Patiliano. Right corner triple does not work. Albo. Pass to Fa. Too strong, gets it back. Fa off the glass and in.
He's scoring, but his points has got to come when the game is competitive.
76-41. Domark Patiliano. Kurt Lohera. Jacks up a free. Oh, that one pops out and back in.
Yun ang tinatawag na malakas na yung team mo, swerte pa.
Oo. Of course, again, congratulations to Kurt Lohera and his lovely wife, Miss Billy Capistrano. They just had their wedding, I think. See Kurt put up a three, knock it down. And si Billy is one of the great female anchors that we have in the UAP.
And talaga nga namang inspired talaga na maglaro today. And it's just, yung mga couples na gano'n, both being in basketball or being in the world of collegiate or pros, that's something special. Oh, three. That one's pretty special too.
Nagwala yung bench ng Muntinlupa after that free by Kit Aviso.
Ang buong Muntinlupa yata nag-celebrate pati si Boss Kaiser no?
Oo. Palagay ko sabi, si Kit inabisuhan itong mga taga Muntinlupa. Kumbaga, makakaisa rin ako dito.
At saka nando sa corner si Boss Kaiser talagang, tingin ko binulungan tira mo na yan.
Kurt Lohera pumukol ng tres, sablay. John Fa puts it on the floor. He attacks.
Yeah, yung mga situation na ganun, these are reads that eventually John is gonna learn. You cannot just blow by everyone in this league. You gotta find a way, as you see this three right here. Tayo ang kagad no?
Ayan no. Pakitang gilas Kita piso.
Full support. And again, going back to how you play here in this level of basketball, you can just force yourself with all speed. Minsan, you gotta play through where there's lesser defense. And in that situation, he would have been better on a pull-up. instead of going inside.
LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. 82-47, J-Boy Gob coming in. And it's good to see J-Boy Gob playing well again para dito sa Muntinlupa. And he had some stints, no? He was with Pampanga after transferring from Rizal last season.
Right. Nag-Rizal pa yan.
Now he offers a screen but pinasa ni Matiliano on the other side. Hit Aviso. Bagsak siya sa sahig. EJ Bongay able to recover and score.
Oh, and then a steal and a putback.
Papantang tira galing kay Mark Matiliano. It's now 86-47. Under a minute remaining. Algin Andaya. Puwersa. Ooh. Dalawang bigatin.
Oo.
Yung nagpagkaan, nagsalpukan dun. Alam mo yung tawag namin ni Coach Mark Nandan pag may nagtabanggaan dalawang yan. The El Aparador matchup. para yung aparador eh.
Oo.
Mga ang bumangga talaga, giba.
Giba eh.
Oo. Mark Matiliano, 10 points. 3 assists, 50% shooting from the field, hit 2 threes. And Muntinlupa going back to what they do best, which is to hit those 3-pointers at a highly efficient rate. They are number 1 in the league in terms of 3-point makes and 3-point percentage coming into this game.
And really playing to your strength. And that pretty much has been the identity of the Cagers.
This was Bongay hitting that shot earlier. See here, nakasundot si Matiliano, able to intercept that pass. Got it up and in. And ito nga Muntinlupa, no? 35.4% shooting from beyond the arc. That's number 1 in the league. And also, they're the best in terms of, actually, they are 7th or 6th, tied with Ilagan in terms of 3-point makes with 8.7. This was the skirmish between EJ Bongay and Algin Andaya.
Konting kwentuhan.
Oo. By the way, happy birthday sa ating statistician na si Mr. Darrell Lakas Dile. Kailangan mapagalitan ako ni Darrell eh. Baka magtampo sa akin yan eh. Lakandile ba? Sino ba nagsulat niyan?
Bigil, tanong natin.
Technical foul on number
Si
16,
Vince yata nagsulat yan eh.
both for unsportsmanlike behavior.
Teka, ito, babasahin ko dito. Pero ito, may natawagan ng unsportsmanlike foul or was it those two canceling each other out? So both of them were called for unsportsmanlike fouls. Si Darrell Lakasandile. Ayan. Tama. Darrell, okay na. Ka nang magtampo sa akin.
Happy birthday, Darrell.
Matinik yan, yung Darrell Lakasandile. Matinik. Kita mo nga, nauutal ako dahil sa apelido pa lang eh, bigati na. Ito, tres ni EJ Bongay Sablay. Nachi Inigo puts up a free. Off the mark. Algin Andaya inside. Gets the basket and one. Andaya goes for one more. This guy also from Navotas, played for San Pablo Colleges. And previously had stints for Negros in Season 5 and Navotas back in Season 3. So hindi na siya bago dito no, sa MPBL. Hits the free throw. Lead down to 34. Itong oras, nauubos na dito in the third quarter. Lohera, Sablay, K-Boy Gob! The stick back plus a foul. Just to beat the buzzer. That was off a miss by Lohera. Pero nakita mo si J-Boy Gob able to tower over the smaller defender. J-Boy. Sabla yung free throw, and that's gonna do it here in quarter number 3. And Muntinlupa, again, pouring it on. J-Boy Gob, one of the leading scorers para dito sa Muntinlupa Cagers. Highlights of the game brought to you by Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
And again, the challenge of making shot attempts continues to be hounding itong Manila. Better third quarter, but still not enough.
Kitaviso, nakisali na rin sa 3-point party nitong Muntinlupa. They've hit 12 of their 24 3-pointers. And we head into the fourth quarter. They are ahead 88-52 over Manila.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad, 50 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong pagbabago, 50 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod, 50 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Fan of the game brought to you by LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Ayun, nalaman na niya nakukuha na siya ng camera. Busy ka po eh. Pero syempre, pahinga din dahil Labor Day ngayon. It's a holiday. A great way to watch hoops dito po sa Olivares College in Parañaque. And later on, we'll see Cebu Classic. They will take on the Parañaque Patriots, searching for their very first victory of the season. Quarter scoring po natin, nakita nyo, no? 29-11, 25-9. But here in the third quarter, Manila actually able to put in some points. It's 34-32.
Yeah, better scoring actually for Manila, pero still, ang laki na naging deficit nila heading into the halftime break. Will they be able to come back here? Then why not? You got to score real quick.
Decoy, swing pass. Ambrosio, the pass down low. Aldaya powers through, plus a foul.
Oh, if you're Muntinlupa, hindi ka pwedeng pa-relax dito. You can't be complacent. I mean, you're giving these guys a belief that they can come back.
Free throw coming up for Algin Aldaya, who's now in double figures again. And he came into this game, Algin Aldaya averaging 9 points, now has 13. 88-55. Raflo is in with Puroy, Marvin Hayes, Patrick Ramos, and Mark Barrera. Marvin Hayes puts it up and in. 8 points, 8 rebounds for Kuya Marv. Canlas, matulis yung tira. Ambrosio was called for that foul after trying to get the offensive rebound. And just a quick shout out to one of our statisticians. Yung pinaka-pogi daw sa mga Abalos brothers, si Coco Mark Abalos, katropang pop-up ng bagong baryo.
Pero iba rin talaga yung mga Abalos na magkakapatid niyan.
Oh, ang duty ngayon si Kuya Poy.
Oh, si Kuya Poy.
Michael Abalos. Press ni Gerald Flores. Lista mo na yan.
Tsaka matitikas no? Yung magkakapatid niya.
Oo. Pero palagay ko, yung bunso nila si Miko, may masasabi dyan. Yung pinakamatangkad daw, pero baka pinakagwapo din. Pero ito, yung Algin Aldaya, coach, kanina pa.
Oo, kanina pa to.
Naka-end one.
And maganda ang pinapakita nila dito sa simula ng fourth quarter. And how much more will you allow, this, I guess, relaxed defense right now, considering na lamang kayo. 15 na tong ginagawa ni Algin.
Algin, sablay yung free throw. 93-55 57. Press ni Raflo, sablay. Put back again, Andaya just scoring in the points.
Well, if you're Muntinlupa, you're not gonna like how they performed here early in the fourth quarter. I mean, there's that sense of complacency, and you gotta wake up real quick if you're the Cagers.
Lloyd Cabegin. Minadali niya yung tira dun.
That's a foul.
2 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter. Coach Gino Ludovice, Coach Mark Dandan working hand in hand. Manila down here by 34 points. And they're on pace again to give up 100 points to their opponent for the 7th time this season. Cabegin grabs the rebound. Ramos, bounce pass, Raflo gets the basket off that feed from Patrick Ramos. Foul called against Muntinlupa.
That's on Lloyd Cabegin.
DJ Bongay comes in.
It's the second on Lloyd.
7 minutes and 21 seconds. Baseline inbound para dito sa Muntinlupa. John Fa, the pass to Decoy Lopez. Ambrosio pulls up. Good-looking stroke right there.
Yeah, good-looking stroke so far for Ambrosio.
95-61.
He hasn't missed from the field yet. Don't see Ambrosio is 2 out of 2.
Sa mga home goals yan para sa Manila. Pantibuhan played for Manila for a time.
Good read.
No look pass, Patrick Ramos. Nothing there on that trip. John Fa putting on the Jets. Oh, what a move. That was a gorgeous drive to the basket para dito kay John Fa. Patuloy Kantimbuhan will settle it down. Ganda nung set play doon. Coach Mike, nakita mo nalibre yung Mark Barrera.
Yeah. And Mark's shooting has been impressive here. He's 5 out of... No, he's 8 out of 12 from the field.
Okay, Lopez gets the basket. Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. If you remember, ito si Decoy Lopez, Coach Mike, he played for Manila back in season 2 and 3 where they were contenders. This was the team that featured the likes of Chris Bitoon. You had Aris Jonicio in there. And they had some deep playoff runs in the North Division during that time. And here, this is a much different role for him. Obviously, different mix of players na ngayon for Manila. But still going strong, the former JRU heavy bomber, Decoy Lopez.
So, you know, you use the most of Decoy when you make him, you know, be a perimeter scorer, which is pretty much his specialty.
Isang daan na ang puntos dito ng Muntinlupa. Kantimbuhan, short stab, no. Rebound, Decoy Lopez. John Fa. Oh man, just going coast to coast. 14 points for John Fa.
Kaya lang yung the challenge that Manila really had was, you know, to start real strong. So they're scoring in quarters real good when the game is already out of hand. And that's gotta change, you know. Dapat strong start.
Last break of the game brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme Magpalamig, free installation for split-type air conditioners.
But you also have to understand the situation of Coach Maxi. Tulad ng sabi ng report kanina nga ni Sydney, they don't have rim protection, a big man, understanding na may mga kulang na pyesa. But kaya ang challenge niya sa mga players niya is, ipakita niyo kung anong laro ang meron kayo. And this is an opportunity for them to do that, just like how John Fa has been taking this opportunity.
John Fa, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Richard Albo comes in for Decoy Lopez. Almost at the halfway point of the fourth quarter. Utoy Abarcar nasa loob na din para dito sa Muntinlupa. 32-point lead. And Mark Barrera with 21 points. What a bounce back game for him after not having any field goals in their last two games. Still here, John Fa off to the races. Bounce pass. Algin Andaya. And one na naman.
Hindi mo talaga maasahan si Algin. Open floor, perimeters, going the footwork. But a good read right there by John Fa, finding the open man.
Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. If he hits his free throw, he'll have a 20-10 game. 20 points, 10 rebounds for Algin Andaya. 75% shooting from the free throw line. Ball poke loose. Kita Viso and Marge De Leon come in for Puroy Kantimbuhan and EJ Bongay. 13 seconds on their shot clock. Achi Inigo will check out. Unless Manila here puts up some incredible run, but highly unlikely, especially if Kit Aviso hits those three-pointers. That's his second triple of the ball game. Oh, John Fa putting on the moves. Nilabas papunta kay Richard Albo, drills in that free. And for Muntinlupa nga, coach, their schedule somehow, it's very interesting. They haven't really faced off against the top teams, both in the North and in the South Division, as we see John Fa turning defense into offense. But how do you, with the way you've seen them in their first 6 games, how do you see them going up against the likes of Quezon, Rizal, Nueva Ecija, Pangasinan, Pampanga, San Juan, those kinds of teams, Coach Pai?
Well, first off, it's been a really strong start para dito sa Muntinlupa. When they went up against Bataan, I felt that was a good test. And maganda yung pinakita doon. That was the overtime game, right?
Yeah.
Yung sa Bataan. And so that's a good acid test for them. But eventually, as you go up against the bigger teams, when we talk about the top-tier teams, the unbeaten San Juan, Nueva Ecija, you gotta go to Abra. I mean, that really would show kung ano pa yung ibang piyesang kailangan nila. And I think what's good though is that understand the window is gonna come up soon. And doon maaring makakuha pa sila ng ibang piyesa that could help out in their later runs this season in the hope that they make the next phase would eventually be the playoffs. But then so far as the building blocks of this team, of the Cagers, I think they're in a pretty good spot right now, lalo na without their playing. And Patrick Ramos has been real good. Marvin Hayes has been a vital piece on that experience side. Puroy Kantimbuhan has picked up that role of being the primary scorer. A lot of other pieces as well that could do well for Muntinlupa.
You saw Coach Maxi Deandante and Boss Ado Salazar. Algin Andaya with a 22-point 11 rebound outing. Ito nababa nila sa 24.
24 na lang to, right?
Viahar, 3-point shot, no good. Tatakbo ulit ang Manila. Richard Albo goes right at Tutoy Abarcar and scores.
22.
And given how fast Manila plays,
He wants to clear. They're gonna go to Marvin Hayes.
Marge De Leon Pamatay sunog. Ambrosio, susugod, gets fouled. And if you look at Muntinlupa's schedule so far, all of their games were against sub-500 teams. Against Bulacan, Cebu, Marikina, Bacolod, Bataan, Val City Magic, and here against Manila. And that does not take away the impressive start that they've had. 5-1 and 6-1 pending this victory against Manila. But up next on their schedule would probably be their first big test of the year. They will go up against the Zamboanga Sikat, who surprisingly are one of the top teams in the South Division. So yan, cut division nila. If they can get a win there, that's gonna be a huge boost to their confidence moving forward.
Against, scoring guards. And I feel you alluded to that Zamboanga game. Their next game would be, after that, would be Imos, right? And
Yes.
that's gonna be a tough cover too.
Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Samantala, itong Manila, as we see Richard Albo score and one. Looks like they will fall down to their 8th straight loss.
But you like the effort that they're showing here in the final 2 quarters. This is another 30-point quarter for them. So you score 20 in the first half, then you score 60-something in the second.
1 minute and 35 seconds to go here in the fourth. Richard Albo with 16 points, 4 rebounds. Former MPBL champion. 108-84. Again, if you look at this Muntinlupa squad, great 3-point shooting team, thrives in transition, and one of the top teams in terms of making points off turnovers. And they're a unit, Coach Mike, na alam mong yung mga manlalaro, they're very aware of their roles on the floor.
Yeah. Yan ang clearly defined. If you observe how Muntinlupa has been playing, like pag nagkasabay si Poroy Cantimbuhan at si Patrick Ramos, clear na magtitimon si Patrick Ramos at Poroy swings over to the wing being a scorer.
Special deal from 1xBet. Scan a QR code and claim your special offer.
And so far as bigs, you have Mark Sarangay, Bongay, Raf Flores, and Marvin Hayes. Clear din kung ano yung mga specific roles nila on the bigs standpoint. And I feel when they go up against those bigger teams, higher tier teams, I think we're going to see a little bit of a slowdown on how they play. Because you want to exploit your seeming advantage when it comes to the experience of the bigs, using Mark Sarangay, Marvin Hayes, as well as Raf Flores.
Again, Mark Barrera scoring now with a team-high 23 points. Again, last 2 games po niya, 0.5 points per game. Did not have any field goal conversions against Bataan and Val City. And he was once the leading scorer para dito sa Muntinlupa before he struggled in his last 2 games. But boy, here against Manila,
Unsportsmanlike foul on Utoy Abarcar for excessive hard contact
against Muntinlupa, against Utoy Abarcar.
Utoy Abarcar, right. And Utoy is a player that really just plays hard. Yeah, without a doubt. Lahat na nakakilala sa kanya sa Muntinlupa, alam kung gaano. He just loves physicality, and there are certain players who get a lot out of it,
Yeah, great high school career, no, Coach?
Oh, yeah.
And naalala ko din kay Utoy Abarcar, he was one of the 6 players
in the Super 6.
Super 6,
right,
when a lot of them got suspended.
Alongside, I think it was Bonsubre,
Yes,
Ivan Ludovice,
tama,
him.
Sino pa?
Oh my memory just fails me at certain moments.
Art De La Cruz was also
Art De La
part
Cruz, that's
of
right.
that unit.
That's right.
We have a timeout here with 51.9 seconds remaining. We'll pause for break.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
With us here and J-Boy Gob with a double-double. 12 points, 12 rebounds. Sabahan mo pa dyan. 2 block shots. Shot 55.6% from the field. 5 out of 9 shooting. For the former UP Fighting Maroon. Came into this game only average 3.3 points and 2 rebounds. And started this game for Muntinlupa and made a good account of himself.
Yeah, and those were good 14 minutes of action for J-Boy Gold. Lalo na when he hit that three-pointer to start.
And when he was playing with the Green Archers, ito si J-Boy Gob, he endured 2 ACL surgeries in back-to-back seasons. So he has really gone through a lot. Ito si J-Boy Gob. And then he wound up playing 3 seasons with the Rizal Centro Mall Golden Coolers. From seasons 4 up to season 6 before transferring to Pampanga. And he could be a vital piece if Muntinlupa wants to make a playoff run this season.
Every help that Muntinlupa can get, you know, to make a really good run this season, they're going to take it.
Mark Sarangay did not play in this game.
Utoy
Abarcar is ejected, committing 2 unsportsmanlike fouls.
Let's see that again. Oh yeah. That's pretty much clear. He got beat going the left side. He got influence going the left side, but John attacked going middle.
John Fa.
Relentless din nitong si John Fa, no? Considering yung deficit. And you love that. And Coach Maxi, I feel, has done a good job of still continuing to coach John Fa and telling him about, you know, the opportunities and the chances that he's given.
See the numbers, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. Richard Albo out of control. But Manila able to cut this deficit because this was a huge margin earlier. John Fa getting the steal. They trail by as many as 39 points. Muntinlupa will just hold on to the basketball and they will end up with a win. A 23-point beatdown by Muntinlupa and able to dominate itong Manila.
Natawa ko kay Decoy Lopez. You see him rushing to Marvin Hayes. All good between these two.
2 former teammates, Marvin Hayes, Decoy Lopez for Jose Rizal University. As the Muntinlupa Cagers getting back-to-back wins, and a huge reason why has been this guy, Mark Barrera, bouncing back. He is the best player of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
22 minutes of action and a 10 of 15 shooting. 2 out of 5 from 3. He's got 3 rebounds, 1 assist. And he's just been solid from the field para dito sa Muntinlupa.
This is his MPBL career high. Mark Barrera with 23 points. And certainly a great bounce-back game para sa kanya. Our final score, 112 for the Muntinlupa Cagers, 89 for Manila, Batang Quiapo. Let's go to Miss Sydney Crespo.
Yes, Ken and Coach Mike, kasama ko nga si Mart Barrera, ang ating best player of the game para sa Muntinlupa Cagers. Mart, first of all, congratulations. Muntinlupa dominated this game early in the first quarter. No, alam ko na may kumpiyansa kayo mula sa inyong last win, pero anong nagustuhan mo sa pinakita ng iyong team?
Siguro lang po, may nag-prepare po kami ng maigi dito sa game. Hindi po kami tinreat na yun nga, yung standing po nila. Kaya po, tinitreat po namin one game at a time po. Tsaka siguro po nag-stick lang po kami sa game plan ng mga coaches namin. Tsaka nagtiwala lang po din sa mga teammates po namin.
Very well said, Mart. No? And aside from your teammates, hindi ko alam kung aware ka, pero you just delivered your career high performance dito sa MPBL. A very good comeback performance para sa'yo personally. 23 big points. Paano mo pinaghirapan itong contributions mo?
Siguro po nagbunga lang po yung mga extra po before practice tsaka after practice po. Tsaka siguro po minomotivate lang din po ako ng mga teammates ko po tsaka yung mga coaches ko na pag libre, tira lang. Tsaka siguro po sa kumpiyansa na lang din po sa sarili. Tsaka siguro po bonus na lang din po kasi importante po panalo po kami.
Well, Mart, ngayon deserve mong bumate at magpasalamat.
Gusto ko lang batiin po yung mga team owners po namin, si Boss Kaiser and Grace Galvez, Attorney Jem C, Aya Saicon, team governors po si Gov Ricarte Padilla, Mayor Rafi Biazon, at saka po sa mga sponsors po namin, Lakan Lakas ng Camarines Norte, Paramount Logistics, Jem C Foundation, Perea Moto District, Augusti Ship Manning, Elborg, Hoop Spirit Gym, Tela Athletics, Tito Rex, Alvarez Family, Angeles Resort, Jam Shoes, Las Piñas, saka po yung mga pamilya ko po sa Negros, saka yung girlfriend ko po, at saka kay Boss Paco, saka kay Boss Jake, saka sa lahat po ng taga-Tanay City po.
Alright, thank you so much and congratulations once again. Mart Barrera, our best player of the game, brought to us by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Sydney. And itong laban na ito is our main attraction this evening. Cebu Classic will take on Parañaque, searching for their first victory. Kaya nanatiling nakatutok dito sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.
Ang hirap ng buhay na pinagdaanan ko, ayaw kong madaanan ng bawat pamilyang Pilipino. Kaya I hope na ang ating bansa umunlad, magkaisa tayo, ipagdasal natin ang ating mga leader dahil walang imposible sa Panginoon pag tayo ay nagdarasal. Nung ako ay naupong senador, hindi ko po talaga kinompromise yung posisyon ko kasi yung commitment ko sa taong bayan, manatiling commitment ko sa kanila habang ako'y pinagkakatiwalaan at nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno.
Masakit lang isipin, Mr. President, na ang programa na para sa mga mahihirap, tapos may mga tao na kumokontra. Kasi pagka maganda yung ginagawa para sa mga mahihirap, dahil kalaban ka, kukontrahin ka. Nakakabuti naman sa taong bayan. Pagkakalaban ka, ganun. Kaya walang progreso, walang kaunlaran ang bansa natin dahil after ng administrasyon ng isang leader, pag mapalitan siya, hindi ipagpatuloy yung programa niya na maganda para sa taong bayan. Pagkatapos naman ng isa, yung magandang programa niya, mahinto na naman, ibang programa na naman. Bakit hindi natin suportahan? Kahit na ba, ang isang politiko, ang puso para talaga sa taong bayan o tumulong, kung maganda yung programa, dapat suportahan na lang. Ang problema, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda, laging hindi maganda. Lahat ba yung mga programa ng mga nakaraang leaders ay hindi maganda? Pagdating sa mga mahihirap, nasasaktan ako pagka binabatikos yung mga programa para sa kanila. Diyan ako galing sa pagiging mahirap. Yung walang makain sa isang araw. Naranasan ko yun. Kaya ako, anumang darating ko, anumang pera, anong halaga ang nakamtan ko sa buhay, hindi mahalaga para sa akin yan. Ang importante, makatulong ako sa taong bayan, makatulong ako sa kapwa ko. We came to this world naked, and we will depart alone and naked. Wala tayong madalala. Iiwanan natin lahat yan. Ipaglalaban ko ang karapatan ng mga mahirap na tao.
Atin itong bansa, gusto ko po na tayong lahat nagtutulungan para umunlad ang ating bansa, para umasinso ang bawat Pilipino. Mga kababayan ko, mga nagsiservisyo sa gobyerno, magkaisa tayo. Isipin natin na ang mga kababayan natin nagugutom, nahihirapan. Yung iba, walang sariling tahanan, natutulog sa kanila lamang. Tayo, lahat ay pari-parihong tao, may puso na ramdaman. Naway, bawat isa sa atin, lahat tayo, accountable tayo pagharap natin sa Panginoon. Lagi kong sinasabi, kahit ano pa kayaman mo, kahit ikaw pa pinakasikat sa buong mundo, pag namatay tayo, wala tayong madadala kahit piso. Ang Manny Pacquiao, walang karapatan magtipang kahit kanino. Dahil galing po ako sa hirap. Therefore, ang aking gagawin, tutulungan yung mga kasama kong naiiwan doon sa laylayan. Tutulungan sila. Ang dasal ko palagi sa kanila na umasinso din sila sa buhay at makaahon din, guminhawa sa buhay. Kaya tayo lahat, mga kababayan ko, sama-sama tayo, magkaisa tayo para sa pag-unlad ng ating bansa, tayong lahat magtutulungan.